So continuing with our worksheet, Andres has now bought the house and now he wants to do improvements on the house so he can sell it for more money. So the first thing he's going to do is he's going to rip up the nasty carpet and he's going to put down hardwood floors. Hardwood floors are expensive. The material itself, if you go to Home Depot and just buy the hardwood planking, it's about $8 a square foot. So let's say he's going to be putting in only 10,045 square feet. You would take $8 per square foot times the number of square feet to get the cost of the materials. Now, that's not the total cost. That's, doesn't include renting the machine. He's doing this himself. He's not paying someone else to do it. That's just the cost for the flooring materials. He's maybe going to put a finish on it. There are other things that are cheaper, and we can talk about those if you're really interested. Come to the class on Tuesday. Let's say he wants to repaint the whole house. Now, repainting the outside, repainting the inside, these are all things he should consider. Question number letter H is only considering what if he's just doing the inside of the house. At $2 per square foot, what would that cost him? And given that the house is 1,300 square feet, you would do $2 times 1,300 square feet to get an estimate of the cost to repaint the interior of the house. And of course, he's doing it himself, so that's just the cost of the materials to repaint the inside of the house. If he's, got to get the tape to tape off things and get the paint and get the brushes, etc. Now, he's going to put in time to do this. And the reason I made the worksheet say 98-hour days of labor is I'm assuming that Andres is living in this house and he's got another job. And so he can only work on weekends every weekend for a year. So that comes out to be about 98-hour days of labor. This isn't like a full-time job for him. He has another job on the side. So how many hours is that if it's basically all of his weekends for a year? It's about 720 hours. We're going to be using this number further down the worksheet, so just keep a note that this is in your worksheet. Now, after a year, he's able to finish the house. He's done. He's ready to sell the house. And he puts it on the market, and somebody wants to buy it for $120,000. But he has to pay back his loan. He doesn't get to keep that whole $120,000. He has to pay off his loan, and he has to deduct the cost of all his repairs and improvements to see how much money he really made. So you're going to take the cost of the house and you're going to subtract it. You're going to cost the closing, the interest payments, the flooring, the paint, and in reality, any other improvements that he did on the house. So looking up your worksheet, at the answers to the questions you answered above, just plug in those numbers for the cost of the house and the closing and the interest payments and the flooring and take out your handy-dandy calculator and you get $20,644, and that's his profit. Now, you may remember that he had to have $19,600 cash to close, but this $20,000 is above and beyond that because that $19,600 that included 20% of the cost of the house and his closing costs. And we've already subtracted the whole cost of the house and all of his closing costs from the money he made when he sold the house. So really, he ends up with $40,000 at the end. And that's all the money, in money that's just his clear and free. So in essence, he doubled his money in the equivalent of 3 months worth of labor because it's 3 months worth of weekends, or it's a full year's weekends is the same as 3 months. 90 days is about 3 months. So considering those 90 days, how much did he earn per hour on his weekend labor? You take the money he made as profit, divide it by the 270. He basically made about $76 an hour for his weekend job, which is pretty good. Now, the reality is if you just did the floor and the paint, you could do that in less days. I gave it 90 days, or I said 90 days because I was considering him living in the house for a whole year and only working on the house on the weekends. And those would be other things that he would fix. He would put in a new wood fence, maybe replace windows, do some landscaping, maybe replace a few of the appliances. So there would be other costs that would cut into the profit that he made. But you have to recognize also that if he's living in the house while he's doing it, he's essentially living rent-free for a whole year and making $20,000 in the process because he's going to sell it when he's done. So he could also get a better interest rate on that loan. And if you live in the house for 2 years, there is zero tax on the profit you make on the sale of that house for up to $500,000 of profit if you make it. So that's an awesome deal.